Morning, Dave Levine here. Thanks for joining me for my reflections, the reflections of a people developer and also the podcast host. Today it's Tuesday morning and I never got around to actually doing my reflections yesterday because events took over. And that's actually one of my key reflections about actually, things do happen in life and all good plans sometimes don't come together. So I've decided to do my reflections first thing on the Tuesday morning because what happened yesterday is I had a bit of a family issue to deal with and I needed to sort it out, and it took a lot of time into the evening, and I only got finished really about 10:30 last night. So I didn't feel in the right space or place to be able to just collect my reflections then. So my first kind of reflection is on my reflection process, and that actually, you need to do it when it's timely, but find the right time and feel in the right sort of place. I was also conscious during the night that I had a bit of a busy mind, so I wanted to capture my thoughts and my reflections quite early on this morning. And the first point that I really wanted to bring up for me is the idea that last week I focused on kind of three key aspects that happened throughout the day and kind of reflected on those or brought those to the fore. What I'm going to try and do a bit more so now is give a different focus and actually try and pick on one instance and dig a little bit deeper and stay with it rather than flitting around. And that instance I'm going to choose is the one with my family. So the thing I want to just bring up there for me is the importance of actually reflections and learning can take place anywhere. It doesn't need to be work related, because there was lots of stuff that fell out of the incident and the issue for me that I found really valuable. I needed to look about how I reacted and how others reacted and what I can take forward from there. So it plays into my thoughts here really strongly around the idea that we're always learning, we're always out there doing stuff, never mind just having to compartmentalise it to work. There's opportunities to learn in everything that we do throughout the day, whether it be family, whether it be work, whether it's actually just life that we can learn from if we keep our antennae on listening for that. The issue that I want to just sort of talk about is largely around communication and expectations, and the framework or model that really comes to my mind is the idea of the ladder of inference, where different people are talking about what they believe to be the same thing and going up different ladders, and actually the communication is being lost in between and we're on different pages altogether. And what happened is there was an instance with a member of my family. We were talking about what we thought was the same thing, and actually we ended up on very different ladders or different pages, and it raised quite a lot of anxiety in others. It took a lot of frustration out in me and anger, and I think what I had to do is communicate with the member of my family in mind here and actually come down off our ladders to a common place and really sort of clear the air and deal with some of the unfinished business that there was. And it took me into the evening to do that, but I think it was about getting hold of it, facing into it, having that straightforward conversation, which was really powerful and valuable. And the ladder of inference was always in the back of my mind. And I think going forward with that individual and with this particular scenario, which is still going on, I'll be a little bit sharpened to it. And today, actually, one of the actions I've got is to sort of get a grip. I've been clear about the actual content that we need to move forward and speak to somebody and move the event forward that we've been talking about. So it's been really powerful, that scenario, and I feel a lot better for having talked about it and got it out in the open. But it's still got a way to go, so there's plenty of opportunities to learn in that. And the other thing there is also about dealing with family members, actually, and about the expectations and the values that we all have and the relationships that we have and how they sometimes can get a little bit blurred or muddied, but yet we still need to have some pretty straightforward conversations. So that's me for the start of today. Really looking forward to today. I've got a really busy day, a number of conversations again. So hopefully some of those models and those frameworks and the dealing with the issue yesterday will set me up for the day ahead. But thanks for taking the time to listen in, and I look forward to speaking to you again pretty soon.